Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this episode of The Guido Goes Off. And joining me on this very special episode, we have the CEO of Illinois Elite Wrestling, Jeff the Ref. Jeff, thank you for joining us tonight.
Guido, it's an honor and a pleasure. This is my first time on your show, and I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me, and I can't wait to get started.
Well, let's kind of bring people back to how you got in this situation. Of course, originally you were an official with Illinois Elite Wrestling, and well, now you're the CEO. Why don't you go ahead and tell the few but faithful how you got into this situation?
Well, Guido, as you know, IEW has brought me in to be the CEO because at this point in time, I can no longer fulfill my job as a referee. And why I can't is because in May 20th at our show, Douglas O'Shea and the rest of his goon squad beat me down in the middle of the ring, and then they drugged me to the corner of the ring, handcuffed me, and stomped me until I had 2 tears in my shoulder and I had to have surgery. So therefore, I can't ref. So IEW was kind enough to offer me this position because they liked my work and my dedication and how much I put into this company. So they're like, hey, let's sit down and talk about what you can do for us. And this is what they come up with. And I'm honored that they give me this position.
Okay, and you've already made some couple of sweeping changes since you announced on June 15th at the Greenfield show. And at our last show, you already made, which you can find here on YouTube. Go to Illinois Elite Wrestling's channel, and you've already made some very interesting decisions. First, I'll go with the first big decision. Now, nobody wants to see any wrestler not engage in their craft, but your hand was kind of forced when you were forced to suspend Cato for 30 days for his actions in his contest against the King of Thrash, Justin Poole. Can you go over what led to that and why you felt that was the right decision?
Well, first of all, Cato went overboard during the match, and he put his hands on a ref, so Scott had to call the match. And after that, Cato couldn't accept the fact that he was losing by disqualification, and he went on to attack Justin Poole in the middle of the ring, and, quite possibly could have caused some permanent damage to Justin had I not come out there and stopped things. Him and, his girl were trapping
Naomi.
Scott in the ring. Yeah, Naomi, they wouldn't let Scott move, and Scott, wasn't about to even touch Naomi. So that's where I had to step in, and I'm like, what better thing to do than to take Cato out of the picture for 30 days, nothing too extreme, just to remind him of who he is and what his responsibility as a wrestler are.
And I think people can understand that. Then the second one, of course, that which you had announced prior to the show, because of the issues in Greenfield, you announced that you would be the special, a special enforcer, manning and assisting outside the ring, in the IEW heavyweight title match between War and Khalil Akbar. Now,
Right.
Of course, I invite everybody to go to Illinois Elite Wrestling's YouTube channel and watch that for yourself. We're not going to spoil anything. But you did have to, what's the word I'm looking for? You did have to exercise your authority physically. As Douglas O'Shea, who has on numerous occasions physically involved himself in matches for those under his wing, under his care. And you exercise physically with a lead pipe across Mr. O'Shea's mouth. Did you feel?
Well, Guido.
Oh,
No, go ahead.
okay. Now, there's people who are saying that Doug O'Shea deserves that, and he's been a rat bastard the entire time. But there are also people that believe you overstepped your bounds, and with your career as CEO in its infancy, this could be seen as something very bad. People are actually saying that you might have this personal vendetta against Douglas O'Shea. What do you have to say to those people?
Well, first of all, me making myself the special guest enforcer, I really don't see that as an abuse of power or privilege. Okay, I've been a referee for a year and a half, and primarily was just there to keep anyone from interfering. Now, the lead pipe was, for my defense, in case I was jumped, because I had the shoulder surgery, I had my arm in my sling. So yes, I kept the pipe on me for protection. Did I need to hit Douglas O'Shea? No. All I did was put that out just to let him know not to engage me, but he did anyway. So the contact that I had with him was not part of a vendetta. It was not purpose. It was just to block him, and he bum rushed me. So I say to you, I say to the people, that was not intended. And Douglas O'Shea, I'm sorry that I even made contact with you, but I was fulfilling a position that I thought was necessary for the show. And if Doug had kept it back behind the curtain where he belonged, unfortunately, he wouldn't have had to sustain that.
Okay, and so far, do you feel like you're doing the job that was intended for you? Do you feel like you've come up to the level from going from just a standard in-ring official to being one of the top officials in Illinois Elite Wrestling?
I feel that I'm making good progress. I mean, yes, it's a lot to take on. And Larry's still new as well, so we are doing the best that we can at this point and managing each show as we go, because we don't want to bite off more than we can chew. Now, I know some people will say, well, making yourself a guest enforcer, isn't that a little too much? But no, I believe as a referee, having that second set of eyes and ears out there outside the ring during that match was necessary.
And a lot of people do agree with you on that. So I guess we can say, your first official show at an official capacity, it was down the middle, and like I said, we don't want to. I mean, it's kind of cat's out of the bag if you go through this. Under your watch, we have two new champions in Jody Ultra and War, Midwest and Heavyweight, respectively. Now, I know as a CEO, you're not supposed to have any bias, but, just between us and everyone watching, is there anyone in particular you have your eye on that you see great things happening with in Illinois Elite Wrestling?
I see a lot of guys with potential. I'm not a promoter. I'm not a manager, so I can't really, gracefully answer that by saying I'm backing somebody. There again, I've been with Illinois Elite Wrestling a little over a year and a half, and now I'm in a managerial position, and my best thing for me to do is to focus on the whole roster, not just one wrestler.
I totally understand that. And so, of course, we got to talk about, we got our next show, got the next Illinois Elite Wrestling show coming up for September 16th at the Granite City Elks Lodge. Tickets are available, IllinoisEliteWrestling.ticketleap.com. believe the tickets are $12 in advance, $15 at the door for adults. Children 16 and under, $5. 5 and under get in free, as always. So, Jeff, I have to ask, we've got this big show coming up on September 16th at the Granite City Elks Lodge. Tickets available, IllinoisEliteWrestling.ticketleap.com. Tickets are $12 in advance, $15 at the door. Kids under 16, $5. Kids under 5 get in free. What can the fans expect going into next Saturday?
Well, Guido, they can expect what they always get, and that is a great show from the IEW talent. We have the City Life Asylum returning this Saturday, and they will be defending those titles. So you buy your tickets, you get your seat, and you get your drinks, and you prepare for what is going to be the next best thing for this month. And then we'll roll right on into the next month.
So, it's great that they've got this vote of confidence in you, the IEW Board of Directors. Lord knows I tried running it, and we won't talk about that. But yeah, so you heard the man. The place you want to be on September 16th is at the Granite City Elks Lodge for Illinois Elite Wrestling. Once again, I'd like to thank Jeff the Ref for joining me. Is there anything you want to say in closing?
Once again, it's an honor and a pleasure being on the show with you, Guido. Hope we can do this again sometime soon. I'm saying we're just building up for this show and planning things for the next show, so we're trying to stay on task. So, fans, I know some of you may not know me that well or you're unsure, but I'm telling you right now, my intentions are nothing but the best. Just like as a referee, I call it down the middle and I call it straight up. So, you will get what you pay for, guaranteed, people.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, the CEO of Illinois Elite Wrestling, Jeff the Ref. You will see him, and he did announce the City Life Asylum will be in action. Of course, if you want to, updates will come on the Illinois Elite Wrestling Facebook page. So make sure you're linked into that. Of course, while you're here, hit that like button and subscribe for future episodes. Also, if you want to see the Illinois Elite Wrestling action, go to the Illinois Elite Wrestling YouTube channel. Well, while you're here on YouTube, might as well. And you can hear myself, The Miz, and also catch on all the great Illinois Elite Wrestling action. So for Jeff the Ref, I am the Guido, and I think we're done here.